You know, guys, it's funny because as a man who's 40 years old now, I'm sore a lot. You know, my shoulders are a little achy, my knees, and at the end of the day, I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty beat up. And, you know, we do jujitsu to stay healthy, we do jujitsu to improve ourselves. And sometimes it's hard to see, you know, hey, am I actually being healthy or am I just beating myself up and making things worse? Guys, my name is Bill Jones. I'm the head instructor of top level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls. I am a black belt under Master Pedro Sauer, and you're watching Professor's Corner. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor, comment, like, subscribe. I'm always interested in what you have to say and the questions you have. I try to respond to everything in the comments, and if you have a question that I can answer on the show, I'm happy to do that as well. Hey, before I move on, I did want to tell you that I'm probably going to change up the format a little bit. Now that I've got the nicer cameras and everything, and some microphones. By the way, this is a slightly different microphone than the last one, so tell me if there's that little noise in the background. Um, I want to make it more like a variety show, so a little bit of talking like this, like I normally do, and then also add a technique maybe at the end. So if there's any techniques or situations, because let's be honest, you type anything in YouTube and you're going to get a technique for it. So I'm thinking maybe specific situations that you guys are having problems with, you know, like, hey man, I get to the top just fine, I put the hand in and then I can't get this second hand in, or something like that. And then I'll give my thoughts on it, you know, in the videos. By episode 50, I want to be doing it like that. So that's only like 3 episodes away. By the way, thanks for helping me make it to episode 50. All right, guys. So back to this idea: are we beating ourselves up? The answer is yes. You are. You're definitely beating yourself up, and I think it goes back to some of the things I've talked about previously about how we train. Too often, people want to go in there. You know, you do your drilling and stuff. You learn your technique, and then when they say, okay, it's time to train, it's boom and full go. And there's no other sport that does that. I mentioned this before. Like when I played football, it wasn't like you just played a whole game at the same time. You just didn't do it that way. So that's one thing to recognize is you're probably rolling too much full go. You need to do a lot more drilling of scenarios and maybe even lighter styles of rolling. And I can do a whole video on the different ways that you could roll that are still interesting and you'll still get a lot out of without beating up your body. The second part of that is, you know, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it anyway. So whether you lose your body to, you know, sitting on the couch and getting, you know, type 2 diabetes and you know, just withering away, or you lose your body because you've been using it a lot, you know, and you get those injuries. I mean, my shoulder will probably never be the same. I've just resigned myself to the fact. It's just not going to be great again. But it's not because of jiu-jitsu. It's because I'm using it. And I think that's a problem, is that a lot of people, you know, they get injured and then they blame jiu-jitsu. Like, oh, I did jiu-jitsu and that, you know, that's why my shoulder hurts. No, your shoulder hurts because you were using it at the age of 50. And our bodies break down. That's just life, and it sucks, and it's just the way it is, though. Now, how can you mitigate those things? Well, you got to eat right. You could do a little bit of exercise on the side, some strength training. Anybody who is close to me can tell I've done some strength training, you know, and it's the right strength training. If you go in there and kill yourself in the gym and then kill yourself on the mat, you're just killing yourself. You've got to do things that are going to build you up. And you got to eat right. You've got to rest. That's really important. And stretching is another one that I think is really important. So a lot of jiu-jitsu schools actually have yoga programs, or, you know, align themselves with yoga programs, and I highly recommend something like that. If you can get into yoga or just a stretching routine that you do right after you work out, you'll find that you don't get injured as much, or that the injuries don't last as long, because you've taken the time to take care of that. But if you train every last minute, boom, train, take off the clothes, jump in the car, and the first thing you do after you're done working out is sit, everything's going to start seizing up, the blood flow is going to immediately go away, and then, you know, all the nutrients that your joints need and your muscles need to heal gets taken away, because now you're not working out anymore, you're not moving anymore, and everything kind of constricts and goes back to where it normally would be when you're not working out. So especially when it comes to like joint injuries, tendons, ligaments, things like that, they don't get good blood flow to begin with. So you need to be working out, and the best time to stretch and you don't technically stretch ligaments and tendons. That's not a good thing, but you stretch the muscles that go around them. And when you do stretch, though, it kind of keeps the blood flowing to that area a little bit longer, and in a capacity that they're not being beat up, right? Like, yeah, the blood's going to them when I'm putting my hand on the ground and scooting, but they're also kind of taking a pounding at that point. But if I'm just stretching, letting the blood flow through the area, the nutrients are getting there, and that's going to help you recover a little faster. So stretching afterwards is very important. The next thing is icing stuff down. It's real easy to go home, sit on the couch, and be like, oh, I'm so sore, and just sit there. Put some ice on that stuff, and then there's some other herbal things. A lot of people love CBD. I can honestly say I didn't have a whole lot of luck with it, but I know people who just love it, and they're like, dude, this saved me. So, for those people, and maybe it's worth trying for you if it's legal where you are. And I'm not talking about smoking it. I'm talking about CBD oils that you rub on, or you can take it sublingually. There's no like hallucinogen in it. There's a lot of things you can do to keep yourself healthy. You don't have to be beat up every time. And if you find that you're getting beat up every time, I recommend you talk to your coach and say, hey, you know what? I'm coming out of here injured like every time. What can I do differently? And have them watch you and see, help build a routine for you so that that's not the case. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Again, let me know what situations, what problems you're having in the classes. And of course, if you've got anything to add to what I just said, put it in the comments below. I can't wait to read it. I'll talk to you later. Have a great one.